All right, I'm going to read from the Private Oral Exam Guide. I'm going to Chapter 5, Cross-Country Flight Planning. I'm on 5-44, number 41. What are the operating rules and pilot equipment requirements to operate within Class E airspace? Minimum pilot certification, student pilot certificate. No specific equipment requirement in Class E airspace. No specified requirement for arrival or through flight in Class E airspace. 42. What basic operational requirement must be met if flight operations are to be conducted into a Class E surface area located at a non-tower airport with a prescribed instrument approach? As long as the weather allows flight operations to be conducted under basic VFR minimums, a flight into or out of Class E airspace may be made without an ATC clearance. However, if basic VFR minimums cannot be maintained, an ATC clearance will be necessary for arrival or departure. A special VFR clearance. Are you required to establish communications with a tower located within Class E airspace? Yes, unless otherwise authorized or required by ATC, no person may operate an aircraft to, from, through, or on an airport having an operational control tower unless two-way rated communications are maintained between that aircraft and the control tower. Communications must be established prior to 4 nautical miles from the airport up to and including 2,500 feet. Number 44. How is Class E airspace depicted on navigational charts? Class E airspace below 14,500 feet MSL is charted on sectional terminal IFR en route low altitude charts. The lateral and vertical limits on all Class E controlled airspace up to but not including 18,000 feet are shown by narrow bands of vignette on sectional and terminal area charts. Controlled airspace floors of 700 feet AGL and defined by magenta vignette floors other than 700 feet that abut uncontrolled airspace are defined by a blue vignette. Differing floors greater than 700 feet AGL are annotated by a symbol and number indicating the floor. If the ceiling is less than 18,000 feet MSL, the value prefixed by the word ceiling is shown along the limits of the controlled airspace. Number 45. How are Class E surface extension areas depicted on navigational charts? Class E airspace areas that serve as surface extensions to Class B, C, and D airspace are depicted by a magenta segmented line. Number 46. What is the definition of a Class G airspace? Oh, good gusting. What is the definition of a Class G airspace? Class G, or uncontrolled airspace, is that portion of the airspace that has not been designated Class A, B, C, D, or E airspace. Are you required to establish communication with a tower located within Class G airspace? Yes. Unless otherwise authorized or required by ATC, no person may operate an aircraft to, from, through, or on an airport having an operational control tower unless two-way communication are maintained between that aircraft and the control tower. Communications must be established prior to 4 nautical miles from the airport up to and including 2,500 feet AGO. Number 48. What are the vertical limits of Class G airspace? Class G airspace begins at the surface and it continues up to overlying controlled Class E airspace not to exceed 14,500 feet MSL. What is the minimum cloud clearance and visibility required when conducting flight operations in a traffic pattern at night in Class G airspace below 1,200 feet AGL? When the visibility is less than 3 statute miles but not less than 1 statute mile during night hours, an airplane may be operated clear of clouds if operated in an airport traffic pattern within 1/2 mile of the runway. What is the main difference between Class G airspace, Class A, B, C, D, and E? The main difference which distinguishes Class G airspace from Class A, B, C, D, and E airspace is the flight visibility cloud clearance requirements necessary to operate within it. What minimum flight visibility and clearances from clouds are required for VFR flight in the following situation? Class C, D, or E airspace, less than 10,000 feet MSL. Visibility, 3 statute miles. Cloud clearance, 500 feet below, 1,000 feet above, 2,000 feet horizontal. That's Class C, D, or E. At or above 10,000 feet, you need some more visibility. You need visibility 5 statute miles, cloud clearance 1,000 feet below, 1,000 feet above, and 1 statute mile horizontal. Alright, so you're in Class G airspace. 1,200 feet or less above the surface, regardless of MSL altitude. During the day, visibility's got to be 1 statute mile, cloud clearance clear of clouds, if you're in Class G. At night, visibility needs to be a little bit more, 3 statute miles, cloud clearance 500 feet below, 1,000 feet above, 2,000 feet horizontal. During the day, you need to be clear of clouds, but at night, if there happens to be clouds, you have better visibility. You have 3 statute miles, but you need to be 500 feet below the clouds, 1,000 feet above. Alright. More than 1,200 feet above the surface, but less than 10,000 feet MSL in Class G airspace. Visibility needs to be 1 statute miles. Cloud clearance 500 feet, 1,000 feet above, and 2,000 feet horizontal. Night visibility needs to be more, 3 statute miles, cloud clearance 500 feet below, 1,000 feet above, and 2,000 feet horizontal. More than 1,200 feet above the surface and at or above 10,000 feet MSL. Visibility needs to be 5 statute miles, cloud clearance 1,000 feet below, 1,000 feet above, and 1 statute mile horizontal. That was all Class G airspace. Class G, 1,200 feet less, and then Class G, 1,200 feet above, but less than 10,000 feet. Where are we at? 650. All right, we're gonna hold off right there because that was pretty much just summing up Class G. So we're gonna finish off there. Chapter 5, cross country flight planning. That was number 51, page 5-47. Let's see.